We're back.
And deader than ever.
I'm Tamara.
I'm Kelly.
And this is
Ghoul
Beans.
We just spoke for half an hour about
Things that you'll never hear about.
deleted into the deleted file.
Yep. To the safe. Are you drinking coffee?
I am. I am drinking. Okay, well, I'm drinking Dunkin', but I actually was going to review the other day. I went to the Brood Cafe. It was so cute. It was so cool.
For those of you that remember, it's the like 90s horror, 70s, 80s horror themed like coffee spot that's near my house that I always talk about.
Yeah. And so I was downtown and one of my coworkers like spoke about it and I was like, you know what? I'm fucking doing it. Like, you just reminded me, I'm going to go. So I went there and I asked the girl working what her favorite thing was. And so she made me an iced banana mocha with macadamia nut milk.
I had one recently.
So good. It literally tastes like a chocolate banana shake.
Yes.
Like,
the
so
banana
good.
mocha at Brood is, they call it like the Kong or something, which is funny.
Yeah.
And,
What?
technology's fucking up, man.
No, it worked for so long.
What about now? How's it working
It's
now?
working. Yeah.
What the fuck? It did not do anything when we were just talking, and then the minute we were like, let's start the episode.
Yeah.
And I'm back in my old location. I hated being in the
wild.
living room because that giant window actually like lets a lot of sound in. But they're doing construction on 90. So the ramp to get onto 90 from my house is bad. People are using our alley as like a cutoff. There's going to be an accident someday.
Fuck.
But anyway,
is it
sorry.
Right there? Is like the construction right there for you guys? That sucks.
It like is going fast actually. Like,
oh, cool. Because they're
like working through the night. Like this part is going to get done, I think, within the year.
Amazing. Good.
But yeah, the banana mocha from Brood is a seasonal. It's like it's like a monthly thing. Like they're not going to have that forever.
Oh my god, it is so good. I like sucked it down. I was like, can I get 3 more?
And it's so cute in there.
It's so cute. They have such like great memorabilia of just a ton of old movies. It is like 70s and 80s with some 90s. Like they have a Beetlejuice worm coming through the top of the ceiling. It's really
have the
cool.
Candyman mouth like on the back.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's really dope. And also I went to the bathroom there, and the bathroom was so clean.
Yeah,
and, like that is a hot commodity in Chicago, and like it wasn't locked either. Like it wasn't passcoded
and genderless.
Love it. Oh my god, that should just be everywhere. It's so fucking easy. I literally was at a coffee shop in Naperville, and it was like a single men and women's bathroom. And I'm like, this shit is so stupid. I just went into the men's. I was like, this woman's taking forever. And like, there's a toilet in here. Like, I go into the men's room. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because like, it's not stalls. It's not like I'm going to walk in and a man's going to be standing there. It's like a personal bathroom. So why is there a gender on it? That makes no fucking sense.
I know, girl.
So I'm breaking it.
So you liked it.
Anyway, yes. I liked it a lot. And I asked her if she had any ghost stories, and she did. So 2 of our ghost stories, or well, like one of them is going to be from her.
Oh my god, love that. Every single time we've gone in there, the music is blasting and it's packed. So it's not like I'd have time to be like, do you think this might be haunted?
For sure. And hers were her personal ghost stories. I don't know if the building was haunted.
I wonder, because they have a lot of like haunted, like, well, not like haunted, but like spooky memorabilia and shit.
For sure.
But they're like exactly our brand. They're like bold, like pinks and purples and greens and like the checkered floor. It's like very on brand.
Absolutely. The girl I was talking to, I was like, you're my ideal listener.
Yes. Shouts out the Brood.
Shouts out to Brood. We can tag them in this post episode.
I absolutely will. That's where I got the ghost face macarons.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It was very cool. Speaking of Ghostface, I've watched all the Screams in the past week because I've always loved the first one. And the other day after work, I needed like decompression time.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to watch a movie, and I saw the new Scream was out, and honestly, it was pretty good. Like,
oh, good.
I am not a huge fan of like movies from the 90s being still made today, but they did a pretty good job. I was into it.
I think a lot of people said that.
Yeah.
I'm having a decaf coffee. There's a lot going on. We're getting ready to leave for Seattle. It's like 48 hours away from me and I have to like pack and shit. So I know that if I have a regular coffee, I'm gonna have anxiety. But I like to like barista in my home. So I put like almond extracts in there. There's cinnamon in there. Like I love having a little almond coffee. My favorite latte, I've like realized, I love we call it a horchata latte. So like an horchata latte. Or oh my god, I recently literally 2 days ago, went to Big Shoulders Coffee in River West. Holy shit.
Liz was telling me about that.
I got the marshmallow latte. How? We just went.
I think they said that they stopped there after they dropped you off the day I met them.
Maybe. But anyway, I had a marshmallow hot latte, and I don't really drink hot lattes, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah?
It was so good. They roasted the marshmallow in front of me and like stirred it in there.
Oh my god, that sounds
It was
good.
so good. So, shouts out Big Shoulders Coffee in River West. That was so fucking good.
Yeah. I think it's nice that we both got to experience really good coffee, even if today we're just drinking our homemade coffee.
Yes. So we recently went and it's like they have the L time, like the red line times, like running like a ticker on a screen. So it kind of like harkens back to like running in, grabbing a cup and heading off to work.
Yeah.
But it's very much like modernized and very cute. So highly recommend.
That is cute. I'll have to go there. That's so cool. What was one fun thing you did this weekend?
One fun thing I did this weekend was well, you go first. Let me see if I remember.
Okay. I made some Ghoul Beans merch.
Oh, yes.
Some prototypes.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kelly went and made some very, very rough prototypes of like potential merch. Very cute. Your mom also made some potential merch. Yeah. And then that like, because I had been working on stickers, but that got the juices going, and I was like, you know what, I have like some free time because I didn't go to the damn thing on Saturday, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I sat down and made a bunch of like sticker ideas. So like that was cool. Like being in a Ghoul Beans headspace was cool.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a long time since we've been able to like do more than just like, okay, let's record an episode really quick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It has. But things are going to start winding down for me because my summer hours are going to change and my evenings are going to open up like by a lot. So
yeah.
Then we'll be able to like be together and then because you know recording separately is fine and it gets the job done, but like it's a lot better to like be next to each other and be able to like vibe off that.
It's way more fun. The energy is much brighter. Well, cool. So we both Ghoul Beaned it up for a little bit this weekend, and that was a lot of fun. And I was watching Scream while I did it. So this episode, everybody, is Ghouls Being Ghouls, where we ghouls be ghouls.
This is our ooky spooky episode. So whenever we're talking about how we're actually like scary, it's really these episodes.
Yeah, this is when we get scary. So I found a couple stories off of Reddit, and they're really
tell
good
me
because
the barista
we need
story.
Everybody. Oh, of course. We need everybody to send us ghost stories at ghoulebeanspodcast@gmail.com because we know y'all have stories. Send us some stories.
You know somebody who's told you a story.
Right. Like, just tell us the story. If you're listening to this podcast, you've asked people for a ghost story before. For sure.
Or you've heard, like, even if you want to write in, like, a weird experience you might have had as a kid, but you can't tell if it's, like, real, let me be the deciding factor.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
It was real. That was a ghost.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Emily was her name, the barista at The Brood. She had 2 ghost stories for me. So I'm just going to count it as one entry. So the first one is she was in 8th grade or she was 8. I can't quite remember. I think she was in 8th grade. And she went on a trip with her parents to Vegas and they let her bring her friend. And they were staying at a hotel that was being renovated, but it was like old still. Like it was the design back from like the 80s. And it's in Vegas, so it's very like tchotchke, you know, like Elvis Presley, that kind of thing. So she said the second that they got into the hotel, she felt like extremely off. Like it just felt weird. And she said that the first thing she did, as most kids do, is like go get ice for the family from the ice machine, which like I totally relate. I was like, I fucking loved hotel ice machines.
It felt like you had responsibilities that you really didn't.
Yeah, and it was just like there's a big piece of machinery that I'm not used to.
And you're like walking with the bucket, like just getting iced for the fam.
I'm getting iced. My Pepsi needs ice.
My warm, weird Pepsi needs ice.
It was just sitting on the counter when I walked in. So she went to go get ice, and she said it felt like someone was like following her. So she kept looking around and no one was there, but it felt like someone was like watching her and following her on the way down. And then nothing else really happened. They had been going to the pool, and she said on their last like day there, she was at the pool and all of a sudden she noticed like that her skin was just breaking out in like a blotchy red rash, and she hadn't eaten anything weird. She'd been using the same sunscreen she always uses, like nothing weird. And she started to like really not feel good. So her parents were going out that night, so her and her friend were just chilling in the room, and she said she was listening to her CD player, her little Walkman. And her friend was watching TV, and that's kind of how they fell asleep. And then at like 3 a.m. they woke up to the door like someone pounding on the door. So her friend goes to check, and no one is there. No one is at the door.
Spooky.
They realize that the TV is off, and she can't find her Walkman. And like they fell asleep with it on and the Walkman playing like in her ears. So she calls her mom and she's like, hey, did you guys like come in here and, you know, put everything away, turn stuff off? And her mom's like, we are still out. We are nowhere near like the hotel right now. And she said they ended up finding like the CD player in the nightstand drawer.
What the fuck? That's so nasty.
So then they were leaving that next morning, and she said the second they were going to another hotel somewhere else in Vegas, the second they walked out of the hotel room, her skin started to clear up. Like she like watched it go away, and she started to feel better. I was like, that's horrifying.
Ew, like that's a physical thing. Like it's literally touching you. It's nasty.
Yeah, literally. So she told me that little gem, and then she said she had another one. And it was when she was a baby. She doesn't remember this, but her mom told her this one. Her and her mom went to New Orleans to visit her mom's friend. And her mom lived in a plantation house. Or her mom's friend lived in a plantation house. And so they were... And so they were staying in one of the bedrooms, like a guest room. And her mom...
guest room?
Her mom, like... She was sleeping in the same bed with her mom, and her mom woke up and like she was gone. She could not find her. And so she like gets up and she sees her in the corner, and she's a baby. She's like 3 at this time. Her mom sees her in the corner, sitting in the corner, like mumbling. And she's like, what you doing? Like, Emily, what you doing? And she turns around and she's like, I'm talking to my new friend.
We have to get rid of the baby.
She said her mom literally picked her up and they like went to a different... They did not stay there.
My technology's glitching.
No. What did it do?
Oh. It like froze on you.
Oh no.
I know. And your face looked a little bit weird, so that sucked.
I hate that.
So we actually... It just is reminding me. We actually recently had an experience, like... And recently, I mean... Last night, the cat was sitting. We were watching Succession, and it was like the new episode dropped yesterday. So we're sitting on the couch watching the show. The cat is sitting in between us on the couch, like fully asleep, arms stretched, asleep. Has been there for 45 minutes now. We take our cat outside all the time, like on a leash. So when we heard her meow at the back door, we like slow turned our heads to each other because we know she's laying in between us. I was in the middle of petting her, and I heard that. We both heard it, and I was like, did you just fucking hear that? They were like, sure did. I sure did hear it.
Shut up.
I mean, and she makes the same meow at the back door when she like, if we're laying in bed and she wants to go outside, she'll sit at that door and go, I'm going to move away because it's loud. She goes, meow.
That's not a normal, like, that could be any cat. Like, that's a specific meow.
Yeah, because she, like, it's like one good shout at the door.
Yeah.
That's literally exactly what we heard, as if she were over there.
That made me nauseous. Like, I literally am crying.
Yeah. So we were like, I mean, it was a full-blown, like, whoa. Like, and it wasn't, like, that's the thing. I don't have this overwhelming feeling of fear. Like, right. I used to be afraid in our Lakewood house, but, like, not here. That being said, when we were recording, I should have told you that when we were recording last time, I was in the living room, and I actually had to take, like, this headphone off because I kept hearing things. And I was like, I'm gonna, like, have a moment if I don't fucking, like, move my headphone so I can hear what's going on.
Yeah.
Because normally I have this one off because the mic is on this side.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck, I can't do it. So I moved I know.
That's so scary. I actually had an experience as well.
Oh my God.
That's so funny. First of all, I want to talk about that. That's really scary. Mimicking stuff is the scariest.
I have a mimic story.
Perfect. But, like, you just had a mimic story. Yeah. And, like, that is so, I just imagine the ghost be, like, doing it and being like, oh, this will get them to come over here. And then they, like, you don't. And they go look and see the cats between you. And they're like, fuck. They should have checked that first.
We always talk about how, like, I will, like, it works. It works because I will be, like, doing my makeup in the bedroom. And I will know for a fact that my cat is in the bathroom with me, and then when I look for her, she's not in there. Like, yeah. Or, like, I'll be, like, laying on my bed, like, scrolling on my phone or on my laptop or something, knowing that my cat is at the end of my bed, and she's not there. Like feeling and, like, seeing her, because she's low to the ground, she's pretty small, and she goes all over the house. Like, she doesn't just, like, wait for you to be in a certain room. Sometimes when she's in a mood, but, like, she's typically just, like, roaming the house or asleep. So it's not unusual for her to just be in the room with, like, if I'm on the bed, she loves to just, like, lay on the corner while I'm in here.
Yeah.
So almost always she's in here. But also, like, I will be like, no, I swear I saw her, like, I felt her jump onto the bed.
Ugh, that's rough, man.
Yeah, so I think if there's something here, it definitely uses the cat as, like, a mechanism.
Right. It's like this.
But she doesn't seem afraid. Like, she seems fine. So what was your experience?
Okay, so my experience was backstory. I watch TV on my computer when I'm, like, working sometimes for, like, background noise. Like, sometimes it's podcasts, sometimes it's TV, sometimes it's music. And so I watch Peacock a lot, and if you just pause a show on Peacock, for some reason on my TV, it just starts playing sometimes. Mm. So I've learned to, like, exit out of and, like, go to the main menu of Peacock. So, like, it's not the just episode paused. So it's not as convenient, but it makes it so it doesn't start playing. And it'll play forever. Like, my computer sometimes has, like, gone dead. Not dead, but, like, sleep mode, and it'll still be playing. And, like, at first, when that first happened, I was like, ghost, obviously, but it wasn't. It was just, that's happened a couple times now. So okay. I was cutting Matt's hair the other day, and I had my And That's Why We Drink podcast playing. Yeah. And it was the ghost side, because they do half ghost, half true crime. And a lot of times when I have listened to that out loud, things have happened. I don't know why. It's that specific podcast. And that's, like, when I was making cookies and it felt like Matt was home and came, like, directly up behind me. I was listening to them out loud. and like something happened in Colorado and I was listening to them out loud. So I pretty much know just to like wear my headphones if I want to listen to them in my house. But I didn't. I had it out loud because we were both listening, and it was a scary story. And all of a sudden, like I turned it off. I was about to like take a shower, and Matt and I were still talking. All of a sudden, I hear the show I was watching earlier that day, like hours earlier. Like, and normally it takes like 30 minutes for it to start playing. And in my head, I was like, okay, well, I know I don't leave it open anymore because it always scares the shit out of me. Mm-hmm. But I guess I could have, you know, like that's something that could have happened. And like Matt and I are talking, and like we're like, you know, talking, like whisper, like mouthing words, like
yeah.
And it stopped, just stopped. I came back over here. It was on like the home screen of Peacock. It was not any show.
Ew.
Yeah, it was something, you know. It was like weird,
so,
you know.
Ew.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
That was something.
So that happened. That was like a week ago, but that's why I closed my door because I don't know. Sometimes stuff happens.
You get and also like you don't want to keep having to look back there and.
No, not especially when I'm like talking about my house in my house. I feel like we just don't want that. Okay, so tell me a story. Tell me a gross story.
Let's get into it, baby. This one's kind of short, but it's from Reddit user Technical Entry 6633.
Perfect.
And all they said was, "What was that?"
Ugh.
I experienced this encounter when I was younger, and I still think about it and wonder what I saw to this day. When this happened, I was in middle or elementary school. I was visiting a friend at his house. It was like a mansion, at least compared to mine. It had 2 floors and a pool and even a private forest.
What?
No, sorry, a private forest?
Yeah, no, that's disgusting. Chop it to deforestation.
Yeah. We were just having fun and everything was normal. And we spent the whole afternoon playing. But then the night came and we were alone at the house. And I don't really remember why, but we were playing a piano he had on the first floor. All the lights were off except for the one right above us. And from the piano, you could see the living room, the dining table, and a bit of the kitchen. The ceiling was really high and the house had an L shape. So in front of us, there was a wall and a corner that prevented us to see the kitchen. Okay. Okay. Whew. I was playing the piano, and I really had to concentrate on the keys. This is when it all started. My friend that was sitting right beside me started tapping my shoulder, telling me to look at the corner. But as I said, I had to concentrate on the keys, so I ignored him a handful of times. He sounded worried, but I really wanted to play the song correctly. When I finished the...
It's just so important. Like, I have to finish the song.
or just like being like, leave me, like maybe he was into it or something.
First, he was like, I got it this time. Damn.
Yeah. When I finished playing the song, I looked up and saw it peeking high up in the corner. You could just see its head and hands.
Ew, shut up.
It didn't have a face. It was all black except for a white ring where its face was supposed to be. But the scariest thing was its fingers. They were extremely long, and I could see how it would move them as he hid right when I saw it. My friend ran upstairs, and I went into the kitchen to find out what it was, but I didn't find anything. What could that have been? And another question I have and still think about is, why did it hide from me?
Ew.
My friend had been seeing it for a considerable amount of time. So basically, like, think about while he was playing the piano that whole time, the kid was like...
For sure. I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, fucking look.
I would not... Here's the thing. I would have started slamming on the keys. Like, I would have been like, look, no. I would have started screaming. Like, your friend was calm.
Right. There's no way.
I would have assaulted you. I would have fucking punched you in the head. Like, there's no way I'm sitting there looking at that. Like, maybe you didn't scream out of fear. Like, you know, when you're so scared that you just, like, stand still.
For sure.
But he said it was in an L shape, and they were in the corner. They couldn't see the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so, like, around the corner
No, hell
the head
no.
and hand, just like a black.
Ugh. That's you while I'm playing the piano and won't look.
Ugh, disgusting.
My leg hair is growing. Like many chills. That was disgusting. It gives me you putting your makeup on at the Lakewood apartment.
No, that's very similar. Except the fingers on the demon in that apartment they weren't long. It was like a human hand.
Ugh. Yuck. I'm gonna throw up. I don't like it.
It was like, in Signs, whenever he's like he's like, what? And then the thing grabs him.
Yeah.
But it was like, you could see like the folds on her knuckles.
Ugh. That's so nasty.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you had to experience that.
Do you have a ghost story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they didn't have a name. It was like anonymous. These are all anonymous. And and I forgot to write down the titles, so I'm bad at this. But
that's right.
I thought this one was cool.
Hang on. My cat's screaming.
Are you sure it's her?
Yeah. Hazel.
What?
The door's open.
Was it not open before?
No.
Tamara, shut up. And where is she? I don't see her. You don't know that's her.
Ew.
This is like a found footage movie. I don't want this. What?
She was out here.
Where did you think she was?
I thought she wasn't in the room with me.
Shut up. No, you did not.
Did Mariel leave?
Tamara.
Do you hear that? What the fuck is going on? Wait, okay, hang on. Literally, my pantry's open.
Tamara, stop. I don't want to say anything. Okay, so Tamara was looking for her cat. She's now found footaging around her apartment. She was looking for her cat because she heard Maisel screaming. She turns and her bedroom door is open, which it was previously closed. She thought her cat was in the room with her. Her cat was out in the hallway. She thought her partner was home. They are not. The pantry door was wide open, which they do not leave it open. And all the cabinets in their kitchen were open. Now they're reasoning because they have to stay there.
So, okay. We're back.
That was horrifying.
I'm glad you're doing that because I wasn't next to the mic.
I know. I realized that. So I had to go back and... So that was really horrifying. So you thought she was in the room with you?
Yeah. Because that meowing was loud.
It was really loud. And you had the door closed when you were recording?
Yeah. I close the door when I'm recording so she can't get in here. Or she's already in here and I close the door.
Damn. The ghost was like, it's my time. You were talking about me. I'll show you. I'll record this, bitch.
That was perfect timing.
It really was. That was horrible. I wanted to be with you on the journey, but I also felt like I was watching found footage, and I was like, no, I don't want to be the one that sees it jump out.
Yeah, but that would have been such great content.
I don't know what to do when I see something jump out and then you don't answer. I don't know what to do with that part of the found footage.
Me neither.
I hang up.
Oh yeah, hang up.
Because what's gonna happen? I'm like, Tamara, and something's gonna scuttle over and be like,
and you're gonna be scarred forever, no matter what.
For sure. No matter what. I guess I can't hang up because what am I gonna be like? What'd you do? How'd you help her? I hung up.
It's what she would have wanted.
I made the executive decision to hang up.
Well, I don't feel super scared or anything, so
keep going.
Yeah.
So this is a story. After my parents divorced, when I was a teenager, I lived with my mother. I experienced lots of paranormal happenings. Several times when I was reading in my bed, the room would start to feel really icy. Next, it would feel as if something or somebody that hated me was staring at me. When
Ew.
I got that feeling, I would leave the room and come back an hour later. Sometimes during the day, I would see a shadow figure sneaking along my bedroom walls. Sneaking.
So,
I hate
there
it.
are steps happening upstairs.
Stop. Is anyone home?
Must be.
Just keep us updated. It's great content.
Yeah, go ahead, girl. I fucking hate you.
Something in the flat was pretending to be my dog. Well, this is great timing. I forgot about this part of the story.
Wow.
I went into my room and heard a deep growl from under my bed. My dog wasn't capable of making a noise that deep. It sounded either like a really big dog or a man doing his best dog impersonation.
I can't deal with that. That's making me feel nauseous.
I know, it's horrible. Other times, my dog would whimper and pace in the room next to mine, but wouldn't come when I called, as if he was afraid something was in the hallway. When I moved in with my father, the paranormal activity stopped. That's it.
Like, is your mom good?
Right, I can't. You just left her? You're like, I'm out, ma.
You just hung up.
Damn.
Ew. My dog is incapable of making a noise that deep.
Like, that's fucked.
I mean, that's disgusting. I would not be able to. I would have a lantern under my bed that was constantly on. Like, I'm installing lights under my bed.
I would have a Murphy bed.
Yes. Yeah. No, because I don't want it to be on the ground ever. I have a hammock.
That's exactly what the loft bed is for. I figured it out.
And then you can keep, like, holy water.
Just like a pool of holy water beneath you, like one of those little baby baths.
Incredible. Brilliant idea. Water bottle. Are you joking?
I don't.
No.
I literally can't even tell you what just happened.
Why?
I don't know if my brain glitched. It was as I leaned forward, it was literally as if someone stepped out and is gone now.
What do you mean?
It wasn't like a. It could have been the side of my eyes, right? Like it could have just been.
Here we go.
It was,
and now she's rationalizing, so she has to stay there.
I'm gonna say I'm having a stroke. You go.
I'm gonna say that there's like a fuzzy in your peripherals or something.
Yeah. It scared the shit out of me though.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me as it was happening. My next.
Like, how far are we gonna take this, right? Like, how do we?
What do you mean?
Like, at what point are we like screwed if we keep telling ghost stories?
I don't know, bro. Like, I've thought about this too. Like, how long do we do this? Like, at what point do we stop? Like,
at what point is we like, actually, never mind. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed Ghoulbean.
We're on a indefinite hiatus
due to the safety of ourselves.
So I told Mariela about how the last episode we did was the Summer Wind Mansion. Well, one of them was Summer Wind Mansion.
Oh man, that was such a good story.
But I basically like recounted the story for them, and they were like spooked. And now you gotta edit it, bitch.
I know. And like, I'm gonna go to a coffee shop for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. No more of this.
All right. This is from Reddit user DWALX, like maybe DWAlex96.
Okay.
And it says, "This still bothers me today."
It's gonna bother me too.
Nope, I really don't believe in ghosts and very much a skeptic, but these events I experienced still stumble me to this day. Okay.
Great.
All right, Tony. The year was 2011 and I was 15 years old. I was laying in bed when I suddenly heard faint screams of a man within my room. The screams were circling around me. I actually thought I was going crazy, but I knew I felt mentally stable at the time and thinking straight. So I pulled my phone.
Good for them to just be like, no, I feel mentally stable.
Yeah. Good on them for saying that to me, too. So I pulled my phone out and started recording the audio of the supposed screams. When I hit playback after they stopped, only after a minute or so, I heard clear as day on the phone. Ew. I don't know how I was able to sleep at night, but eventually I did. The next morning, I instantly checked my phone again, and the audio recording was still there, reconfirming that it was a dream. What? Maybe they are crazy.
Maybe confirming that it wasn't a dream or a mental episode.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this person's trying to say that, like, they recorded it, they listened to it, it was clear as day, and then when they went to go look at it again, it, like, confirmed that it was clear as day.
Yeah.
Okay. When I got to school, I told my friend the whole thing about it, and of course they didn't believe me. And I even said I had the proof because I recorded it. And I shit you not, I pulled out my phone out of my pocket, and the phone was completely shattered. The SD card inside of it was corrupted too. I wasn't being rough or fell or anything like that. Of course I looked like an idiot after and got laughed at and everything. I'm truly a skeptic, but goddamn, that truly pisses me off until this very day because the audio was very real. This happened again in 2016. It was early morning. I was up and about getting ready for work and alone in the house. My dog's ears perked up and I began to listen with him. Ew.
No,
Ooh.
That's the worst.
We both heard someone moaning in pain from an uncertain point of source in the room. Again, it was faint and very disembodied sounding. I pulled my phone out again, this time with iPhone video, not a flip phone, and the noise stopped. I played it back and it was there. Later that day, the video vanished and I could never recover it.
No fucking way.
I also want to add that someone did apparently die in the room 25 years ago. 25 years before we moved in. And other spooky stuff. I've had other spooky stuff happen, but they can easily be marked off as explainable and not interesting. So this was like, now I want you to reevaluate, friend, if those are spooky and not interesting.
Yeah, honestly. Oh my God. That is so. The fact that he, like, okay, that was in the middle of the night. Like, let's listen to it again. And it was there. He was good. And then it's just shattered. And, like, even shattering your phone doesn't, like, disrupt or, like, destroy your...
Like, the SD card was fucked up.
Yeah. And, like, why is the ghost being all spooky and then being like, no. You can't. Don't show anyone.
I feel like that's like, I would inquire about who died and, like, what that was about. Like, that's what that would lead me to.
Right. Because they, like, want to be... They want you to hear them, but they don't want to be known all like that. Ugh. That's disgusting. That was a good one. So after we moved... Oh, right. It's from an anonymous person again.
Okay.
After we moved into our home, we were told a woman had died there at the hands of her abusive husband. She hated men. My dad would wake up with scratches all over him, and whenever my brother was mean to my sister or I, he would have scratches on him as well.
Ew!
Yeah. One day, my brother hurt our sister. He hit her with something. When he woke up later that night, he had a horrible bloody nose. The day we moved out, my brother accidentally broke his twin's arm by trying out a wrestling move. He swears to this day that he would have died that night if it wasn't our last day in the house. So simple, short.
Good on the ghost.
Yeah, good for her. What's that meme where it's just the girl from, what's that show?
Yeah.
Good for her.
That's how I feel about her too, but also, ew, that she's like, it's like clockwork seemingly.
And like, just that strong to be able to
Wait. Do you remember a few episodes ago when I was like, there's like high-pitched buzzing?
Yeah.
That's happening right now.
Shut up.
It just stopped. No way. Kelly.
What?
I thought you were... Wait.
What?
Do you hear that you're not on my headphones right now?
Yeah. What was that?
Did you just see the lights? No. I think we're going to have to call it, girl. This light just like went... Ugh. I wish I was recording this so you could see it. What happened was I heard the buzzing, and then your screen, like, froze for a second.
Yeah, you froze too, and then you sped up.
That's why I was like, Kelly?
Yeah.
And then my headphones disconnected from this, and then they connected again, and then the light behind me, like, did a woo. Like a, when it
like a surge.
Yeah, like surged a tiny bit.
Do your last story. It's our last one.
Because you want to stir something up, you bitch.
I don't want to stir anything up. I just wanted to hear the story. It's the one I've been waiting for.
Okay. Reddit user Beans C98.
Amazing.
This is called True Ghost Story. Scary encounter turned my skeptic mother into a believer.
Okay.
Before any of this happened, my mother never believed in ghosts. Not so much that people stopped existing after death, as she still believes in heaven, but that she didn't think the souls would stick around or get stuck with us. I believed and still do believe in ghosts, which she thought was weird until about a year ago. Okay, period. I had moved back in with my mom after college while waiting to get an apartment of my own. Her house, which she bought the year before, isn't that old, late 2000s, early 2010s. It's small and served as a nice place to live after she retired. As far as we knew, the previous resident had died in a nursing home, not on property, though there may have been a previous resident, the first after the house was built. Since we occasionally got mail for the same guy, let's call him D. We'll come back to him later, it says.
Oh.
So here's what happened. It's late at night, and I'm getting ready for bed. Hair and rollers, clay mask on, putting body moisturizer on my arms while listening to my music in my speaker. My mom's already in bed, and her bedroom is on the other side of the house. Just as I'm halfway through my routine, I hear her yell my name. It wasn't in the way that parents yell when you're in trouble or need you to put something away. It sounded like something big happened. I think it's her old dog using the bedroom as a bathroom again, so I head over. When I walk in, my mom's white as a sheet, looking around like she's looking for something. I ask her what's up, and she's freaked out, saying that a man was in her room. I'm weirded out since no one could get to her room. The window was too small for a person to climb through, and I had just checked the front and back doors locked before I went to the bathroom. She goes on to say that she was lying in bed, waiting to fall asleep, when she looked over and saw a man coming towards her from the bathroom, hands stretched out to her. She described it like the drawing of the evil uncle from Twitches. I don't remember what he looks like. She bolted up out of fear or to scream for help because he looked so real, only for him to just not be there when she moved. I joked and said she had a ghost in her room, and she told me not to say that because she was thinking the same thing, but didn't want it to be true. My mom got up and was pacing around the room for a bit and tried to go back to sleep with the light on, but ended up sleeping in her recliner that night. She did go back to sleeping in her room after that night, but only for a couple nights before she had a flight across the country to visit my siblings. Okay. She agreed to sleep in her room since that's where her pet's kennels are, and I joked that I would tell her if I ran into the ghost. Kind of mean on my part, since the experience really shook my mom, but it kind of felt funny how serious she got. Oh, and insisted it was a ghost after not believing. Okay. So she's like, this person's like poking fun because her mom was a staunch non-believer.
Yeah. And
now she's like insisting that it was a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
However, my first night, something just felt wrong when I turned the lights off and settled into the bed. I felt a sense of impending doom while laying there. Something told me not to fall asleep.
She's in her mom's room?
Yeah, because the kennels are in there.
Okay.
And her mom took like a flight across the country.
Mm-hmm.
It was so creepy, and despite no logical reason to be, I was scared to go to sleep in my mom's room. Like something was waiting for me the second I lost consciousness. Ooh! And I was the stupid character who was walking around the haunted house while the ghost got closer.
Ew.
Too spooked to go to sleep, I turned on the light and grabbed some sage and moon-charged crystals I have in my room. Okay, so she's a believer.
Right.
Putting/burning them around the bedroom and her bathroom doorways. When I texted my mom and told her, yep, her room is haunted and something was scaring me from going to sleep. Oh, okay. She said after that she did that, she texted her mom. She's like, yeah, I'm fucking scared.
Yeah.
She was not happy to hear that I got spooked as well and needed crystal sage and the lights on to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So right before she came home, my mom did a lot of research and got crystals and a cross that were supposed to help filter out strong negative energy. She brought it home, replaced my protection stuff with hers, and even made a proclamation her first night. back in her room, that this was her home, and if the spirit was going to scare or hurt her again, he was not welcomed and had to leave.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it seemed like all of that worked, and she hasn't had an experience like that again. Another explanation is that the spirit was invited a few weeks prior when my mom was super sick. It wasn't COVID or something that needed the hospital, but she couldn't leave her room for over a week and only got better after about 10 days. We read that sometimes being super sick can attract negative spiritual attention. Since she was stuck in her room, it might have settled there instead of another part of her whole house.
Damn.
But since then, my mom still affirms that something tried to grab her that night, and she hasn't moved those protection things she bought since.
Dang.
The hand stretched out to her is disgusting.
I know. I'm glad that her mom like took it seriously though. It wasn't like, oh, it's just my imagination, you know.
Yeah. I hope that you guys start writing in. It's fun to read stories from like Reddit and shit, but it also is like, it's so good. I actually one of my teacher friends, I hung out with them and they have a ghost story. But I didn't say I have a podcast. So now I have to wait until our next one. I'm like, you remember that like really horrible, scary story you told me? Can I tell it on my podcast?
Yes, please ask them.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to hear it. I cannot wait for you to hear it because it is so spooky. I told it immediately to Luce, and they were like crying scary tears.
Wait, I want to know. Tell me.
No, you gotta wait till because then what if she says yes, and then I can tell on the pod and you can hear it for the first time on the pod.
Oh, I hate that. This is the worst.
I know.
Why did we do this? Yes, everybody please write in. ghoulebeanspodcast@gmail.com. Also, ghoulebeanspodcast at Instagram. You can DM us if you don't want to email.
Like and follow our stuff. You'll know when we put out episodes. You can say hi. We're very friendly ghosts.
Yeah, we're Caspers. We're Caspers of the interwebs. But yeah, thank you for joining us.
And spilling
the ghoul beans. Good luck, Tamara. Be safe out there.
Oh, God. Fuck.